What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Carolina Auto Direct and we're going to take a look at their 2021 Ford F150 XLT. So huge shout out to them for providing this truck for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. All that info is down in the description below. They're always getting in some awesome pre-owned inventory, so definitely check them out. But the F150 that you see behind me is finished off in rapid red metallic, and it has a list price right around $54,000 with 1,800 miles. And to start off today's review, we're gonna take a look at what powers this specific F150 because there are multiple engine options. This is the key fob for this model. It is a turnkey, so we have that folded in there, and then we have lock and unlock on the back side. I'll just go ahead and unlock it. We can open this up. We're up underneath the footwell here. We can release the hood. And as we work our way to the front here, we have the latch, of course, up underneath. And now we can move on to the 5-liter V8. This makes around 400 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. It is paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission. This truck is rear-wheel drive with the optional 4-wheel drive system, and it weighs in right around 4,900 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in around 6 seconds, up to its top speed of 120 miles an hour. And it also has a fuel capacity of 23 gallons, so you can expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city and 22 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 145.4 inches. Its overall length is 231.7. It has a width of 79.9 and a height of 77.2 inches. And as we move on to the exterior now for this F-150, we're gonna start up front where you'll see there is a lot of chrome. It surrounds this large grille here. You can see it has a great design to it, plenty of cutouts to provide maximum cooling to this engine. You'll also notice too, the bodywork extends just underneath that, separating the grille from the chrome in the lower section of the bumper. We have the projector beam headlights, the high beams, and the turn signal right in the middle there. Really nice design for the headlights. You'll notice this truck does have the fog lights down below, as well as 2 tow hooks and the lower air dam there, just to help better improve with aerodynamics. And this truck has really nice lines running down the hood. You can see all these contoured lines just to give it an aggressive look. Ties in nicely with the whole front end design. And as we work our way to the side, this truck has a 2.5-inch leveling kit. We have a set of chrome 20-inch wheels wrapped in a 33-inch tire. Really nice lines run down the side profile too. You can see the indentations in the fender arches as well in the lower section of the door there. We do have side steps, making it easier to enter and exit. Really nice side profile design as well, and this truck has the 5.5-foot bed. There are multiple bed options. You can see the cover up top as well. And then finishing up in the rear, this does have LED taillights. You'll see the standard backup camera is just above the release handle for the tailgate, as well as having F150 stamped into it, which is a really nice design to see. And then you can see the chrome extends to the rear bumper there, where this does have parking sensors. We have the side exit exhaust. And then depending on the engine you go with, this has a towing capacity between 5,000 and 9,400 pounds. And with the exterior out of the way, it's time to take a look at the interior. You already got a sneak peek earlier, but with the truck unlocked, we can move on to this door panel here where we have some nice materials. You can see the leather on the armrest, really nice texturized material on the upper section there. We have all the window control, side mirror adjustments, along with lock and unlock. You can see 1 speaker, and then the entire lower section of the door is great for added storage. You can see a few dividers. You can place a water bottle, some documents, anything in the back there that you need to. There's also a little bit of storage right in the middle of the door, and then we do have the release on the back side of the armrest there. So it's conveniently hidden away, gives it a great look, and of course is functional when you need to use it. And moving on to these cloth seats now, with this model we do have the bench seat up front. So this is a 3-seater for the front row. Really nice cloth design, has a 2-tone look to it. These are manual adjusting seats, so we have all those controls down on the side, as well as the bar up front to move these forwards and backwards. And now with the key, like I said, this is a turnkey for this model. With my foot on the brake, it's time to start this up. And coming back to the gauge cluster now, you'll see the tach on the left side as well as miles per hour on the right side. There's some more fixed information like fuel gauge and engine temperature and other vitals up top. And then right in the middle, there is a small LCD screen. There's a lot of information that we can go through using all these controls over on the right side of the steering wheel. So right now you can see average MPG. If I scroll down, there's a calm screen. So basically that shows no information if you don't want to be viewing anything. You can also look at the miles per hour. You can pull up all of your trip information, look at your driver assistance, which also includes the lane keeping assist. And then if I click on the menu button, you can pull up another tab where you can look at your different screen information, look at your truck info. You can go into towing as well, so you can monitor all of that information while you have a trailer on the back of this. Go into vehicle maintenance and settings. So it's really nice to go through all of that information. You'll also notice too, over on the right side, we have Bluetooth and tuning for the radio. And then on the left side is all of the cruise control settings, as well as that lane keeping assist. And we have volume and another Bluetooth control. As we work our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you can see the electronic parking brake, as well as the headlight controls. There's a dimmer switch for the gauges, and the cargo light, which you can turn on and off. You'll see one air vent. There's a lot of storage space up on the dash here with a small divider, so you can put a lot of info there if you need to. And then right in the middle, this is the 8-inch screen. It is a touchscreen system. So right now you can see all the presets down below. We have audio, phone when that is paired. You can go into the apps here and look at a few. There's also some settings to go into that you can configure so you can get everything set up the way you'd like it. And then features is the last one. You can go into driver assistance, towing, as well as the owner's manual. And then there's a few buttons up top. We have the engine start stop feature, as well as a shortcut to the camera system. So with the truck in park right now, you can see the backup camera. You can also adjust the auto brake when you need to, as well as the parking sensors, turning those on and off. You'll also see we have the hazards as well as traction control. And then below that, you'll see all these physical buttons for the radio. So we have power and volume as well as tuning. You'll see there's another way for the tuning buttons right in the middle, as well as play and pause. And if you push on these upper 3 buttons, this one here will show up with the date and the time. If I push on the middle one, that will adjust what you're listening to, whether it's AM or FM. And then the last one will go to your settings, so you can adjust all of your radio controls if you need to. You'll also notice too, moving below that, we have all the physical buttons for your climate controls. So we have the fan speed on the left side, temperatures on the right side. Where you'd like the air to go is right in the middle. It's laid out very well and very easy to use. You'll see on the left side of that, we have the trailer braking system, as well as the 4-wheel drive modes. You'll see over on the right side, there is a 12 volt, as well as a USB and USB-C port if you need to use those. And we have even more right in the center. So you can use this as a work truck. You have plenty of areas to charge any electronics while you're out on the job site. You'll notice there's a really nice large tray down below. You can place your phone or other items. And like I mentioned earlier, we have the 3 seats up front. Up underneath this middle seat, this is basically what I would call the center armrest. So you can pull that up and you'll see there's plenty of storage for any items you'd like to place there. And then you can fold down this seat if you don't have a middle passenger. Use it as an armrest. You have some cup holders as well as additional storage space. And then as we work our way to the passenger side here, there are 2 glove boxes. If I push this button here, you'll see the upper one open up. You can see there's a good amount of storage space there if you need to use it. And then we have the traditional glove box with a lot more storage. We'll take one last look at these seats here. I think they have a really nice design. Being finished off in cloth, they have a 2-tone look to it, which gives it a great look for this truck. And so now it's time to take a look at the rear seats now. We have the door panel finished off just like up front. Plenty of storage for anything you'd like to place. We even have that same middle storage area there. And now in the back at 5'10", I have plenty of room. I have the front seat set at my height. You can see I have plenty of room for my feet and my legs. We do have storage pockets behind both front seats. You'll also notice we have more areas to charge electronics for your backseat passengers. And there's plenty of space to have a middle person back here. So you can pack this vehicle full of 6 full-size adults and have plenty of room. You'll also notice too that we can fold up the lower section of these seats. If you want to use this as more interior storage space, you can fold these up out of the way and place in a lot of larger items. You'll also notice we have great visibility. This is a large rear glass here, plenty of window here, not a bulky pillar right there. So definitely plenty of visibility for your backseat passengers. And last up, we're gonna take a look at this bed. And as I mentioned earlier, this does have a soft top cover on it. It's actually really easy to remove. So if you do need to take that out of the way and use this bed for larger items, it makes it very easy to do. This model has the spray-in bed liner, so that makes it much more durable. You can see there's plenty of tie-down hooks. We even have some over in the corners here, so you can safely secure any items that you'd like to. And the tailgate itself is not all that heavy, so it makes it very easy to close even with one hand. All right, so getting this 2021 Ford F150 out on the road now. We've reviewed a lot of F150s in the past, and I believe this is the first V8 that we've been behind the wheel of, and we've had a lot of comments about people saying you should go with the V8. Now with the V8, of course, you're going to get that old school V8 sound to it. I know a lot of people kind of don't like the new EcoBoost engines, but personally I think they are really good, and I'm glad that Ford has offered a whole bunch of different engine options for the F150, depending on your personal preference and what you need, what you're going to use the truck for, how much power you're actually going to use, what you're going to be towing with the truck, and various items like that. So with the V8, we're going to slow down a little bit and listen to this exhaust note. I think that's what people really want to hear. With the EcoBoost engines, of course, they're getting a little bit less loud. They don't have that rumble that especially Ford owners and I think Ford people really want. That classic V8 engine is definitely something that a lot of people like, and this is an option that's actually cheaper than some of the others. So you can still basically spec any F-150 with whichever engine that you'd like, and I think that's really convenient, again, depending on what you're going to use the truck for. So with this out on the road, this is actually the first time that I've driven one with the bench style up front. I have been in some other work trucks for other companies where they do have this, and I think that's really great. This is basically a truck that's designed to take to the job site. You have plenty of room for 5 other people in here. You can put whatever you want in the bed. You can tow with this truck. And so while it doesn't have all the technology features that you can get in the F-150, it's kind of just the basics. We have all the climate controls. We do have this screen here that you can use. Some information in the gauge cluster there. So it definitely provides you with what you need for what you're using this truck for, or if you just don't want any of that technology, this is a great option to go with. We do have the turn key here, and I just noticed too that you can put it into the manual setting and use the plus and minus on the shifter here. So if you are towing, you want to hold this truck in a certain gear, or if you just want to have some fun, we'll go down to 3rd gear here, do another acceleration. These are pretty responsive, a little bit slow, but I mean, it's a truck. It's not performance oriented for driving with that, but you can use those. You can use the 4-wheel drive system and use that at the same time if you are on some gravel roads or any type of terrain like that. But now let's test out the turning ability for this truck. And we don't have to go off the pavement there. It's pretty impressive, very tight. This is a long vehicle, but it is maneuverable. I still have it in the manual setting there. But it is going to be easy to maneuver. I've had it in the parking lot. It's really not all that hard to get used to. And of course, the more you drive a vehicle like this, the more you get used to it. And so now I already went ahead and folded this middle seat down just so you can get that perspective. You can see we have the armrest as well as 2 cup holders. And there's actually an area here where you could easily place your phone. So I'm going to do that real quick. You can just lay it right there. We have a lip on both sides so it won't roll around or fall out. So that's great to see. But as you already saw, we have plenty of room in that back seat area. I'm 5'10" and I could be back there for a long period of time. So if I had to be in the back seat, plenty of room, plenty of visibility, and visibility from the driver's seat now. I can look over my left shoulder, look over my right shoulder. There's really no blind spots in this truck. We have a ton of glass to see in all directions, which is really nice to see. And so now setting off with the POV angle now in the F-150, I want to talk about what it's like to actually drive this. So I've put a few miles on it, and it's a very, very comfortable truck to drive. I've had no complaints with the suspension. Like I mentioned earlier, this does have a leveling kit, and I don't think that has affected the suspension at all. It seems to ride and drive very smoothly. It's absorbing all of these bumps very well that I've gone over. And as far as handling goes, you know, I'm not going on some really twisty roads, but just coming around some of these at a normal speed. While it is a truck, it still handles these very well, just going at a normal rate. And it's also very quiet on the inside too. There's no road noise, wind noise. You can't hear these aftermarket tires. They're more of an all-terrain tire as well. So of course that is going to depend on what tires you put on your truck. But with these specific ones, it's very, very quiet. So it's a very peaceful truck. We don't have all the luxuries that you can spec out for an F-150, but I think it's a really good basic truck for the needs of being a work truck or something where you just, this is in your budget. This is something that you want. You still have all of your climates and everything that I've already gone over. So it's a really nicely spec truck for what it has to offer, and especially having that V8 engine, which I know a lot of people really, really like over the EcoBoost engines. We're gonna do that same U-turn that I did earlier here. I don't think I took it wide enough there to go off just a little bit. But let's do one last acceleration for today's video. Definitely has a good beefy V8 sound to it, of course, with that 5-liter engine. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive, getting behind the wheel of this 2021 Ford F150 XLT. Once again, huge shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this truck for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. All that info is down in the description. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date on our daily uploads. And I'll see you guys in the next video.